I don't know that I have, but I think if we dig deep, how many famous people get in trouble all the time? We've got to, come on, one of you.
I have a stable
It's client, you can't say who it is.
of clients that are very well known, and that humorously, they're the best stories you can't share because they're the craziest.
Right.
Because that's the call that when it comes in at 2:00 in the morning, you're like, and yes, I do get up and I leave my house at 2:00 in the morning and show up at wacky places because you're a celebrity.
Yes.
And it's the case that you work your hardest at making sure no one else ever hears about what an awesome job you are as a lawyer.
Yes.
You want to scream about how good those cases are.
At the end of the day, I think you two, more than almost anyone I've met, take your ethical responsibilities as attorneys more seriously, which you should, right? That should be assumed, but you know a lot of lawyers don't.
You learn over the years of practice. The lawyers that have ethical issues, that everybody knows them, and everybody can recognize who's good with the ethics.
Yes.
And over time, the good with ethics, ethical operators just rise to the top.
I agree.
I think that even the longer that I've practiced, the more I care about it. The more I realize that it matters. When this is all done, when nobody's going to remember what we did, maybe, probably not, but there are things that we did that matter to us. And so this idea that we can go on set and we'll laugh and we'll joke, and some people think, well, that means we don't care. It's actually the absolute opposite. We care so much more than we even show, and that's why we do it. This is what we do in our spare time. This is what we talk about when the cameras go off. It's who we are.
And it's how we compare and contrast and compete with each other as professionals, just like judges. I know at the convention, and judges have conventions that are just as fun as your conventions. They're just all judges. That you guys have these unspoken comments. Who's not getting reversed?
Yes.
Who's staying out of the news for dumb stuff?
Yes.
Who's not been on the front page for letting the wrong person go? That matters. Same with us.
Yeah,
You get pinched on something dumb ethically, all of us are in the background being like, dude, come on.
But that's what I value, because you know it's not true with everyone. Let me shift gears back to famous, because you know what I think of for yours? The statute, that case, because that was really on the front page. If you Google it, you can find it. Would you agree or not? I mean, because of the attention it got.
Yeah, this was the man who pulled down the Christopher Columbus statue. So my partner and I, we represented him throughout this entire case. And this is the one where President Trump came out against him. Senator Cruz
it was
came out.
big. It was a national conversation.
But you know the weird thing about it? The weird thing about it when it was all done is that these big cases, what makes them matter are the little tiny things that come out of it. The idea that you can sit with this one man and talk about his life. And what we ended up doing was having this opportunity to have a very large conversation with the community. I mean, we brought in police officers and priests and senior politicians and activists, and we all sat together and talked about society. And remember, this all happened just after George Floyd. We had still smoke in the air from both Minneapolis and St. Paul. 2,000 buildings were burned in those two cities. And we actually got together live during COVID and did this. It was so amazing, and what a privilege it was to play one small role in it. That was amazing to me, but it was still, in the end, about this little thing, which is this one man trying to make one point that really mattered to a lot of people at all levels.
15 seconds, what was the conclusion of that case? How would you describe for non-lawyers how that case resolved, if that makes sense?
That case was dismissed. He was never charged with a crime. He never pled guilty to a crime. And in the end, we got the state of Minnesota to apologize.
Wow.
And the biggest part of it all is when you look at all these protest cases nationwide, we were the only, so far, success in the United States on that issue.